Oh, I can see people on the side here. I think, are we on? Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Let's see. Oh, I can see comments. Oh, that must have been from before. Are we on?
I believe so.
All right, great.
Great. Okay, right. So, hi, everyone. I'm Corinne Foote, founder and editor of Stepparent Magazine. And today I am joined by the very knowledgeable Jenna Korf of Stepmom. Help. Sorry, I'm getting...
You getting feedback?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bear with me.
Sounds okay to me.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Stop
Can
now.
you guys hear us? Can you guys
Stop now.
comment? Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Elizabeth.
That's okay, that's stop now. That's okay.
Great.
Sorry, everybody. So Jenna Korf is a leading certified stepfamily coach and founder of the online group Stepmom Revolution. Sorry, I'm getting too much feedback.
All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get to it. Hi, everyone. We are here to talk about high conflict exes because I know a lot of you have them, or at least feel like you have them. It's really one of the most stressful things that you can deal with. So Corinne is going to, I guess, pipe in when she can.
Right, okay. So can you describe, Jenna, what high conflict means and what type of behaviours we can expect from somebody who displays high conflict behaviours?
Yeah, so so it's there's a pattern of behavior, and it's kind of defined by certain traits. And anyone that is dealing with someone that they think is really difficult should check out the High Conflict Institute. highconflictinstitute.com was founded by Billy Eddy. And he is the one that when I was online searching for help for myself, I found his website, and that's where I learned about, there is actually a personality that's considered high conflict. And I'm just going to actually read out 7 behaviors that are part of this personality pattern, and then we can talk more about it. So rigid and uncompromising, repeating failed strategies. So they try the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, even though it doesn't work. Difficulty accepting and healing loss, which makes a lot of sense if you think about how you're like, they've been divorced for 10 years. Why is she still upset, right? Unable to heal loss. Negative emotions dominate their thinking. Inability to reflect on their own behavior. This is a huge one. They're incapable of actually seeing how their own behavior contributes to conflict. That's a huge one. Difficulty empathizing with others. Preoccupied with blaming others. So since they can't see their own behavior and how they're contributing to the conflict, they blame others. It's always somebody else's fault. You guys know what I'm talking about here. And then I know you all do. And then avoids any responsibility for the problem or the solution. So that I think also goes along with like the blame. Projection is also another one that we have dealt with a lot, which is, she's doing something. She's actually doing something damaging to the kids. She's the one lying under oath, but she's accusing you of doing those things. That will drive you guys crazy. That drives stepmoms crazy because what do you do with that? It's so clear to us that it's her behavior, but she's incapable of seeing it. So that's kind of like a very broad, basic.
Are we right to make the assumption that this type of personality also enjoys a lot of court litigation?
Yes, often they do. Yes, often they do. Right. So they'll take you back to court over and over and over again. And I think that also goes along with like a high that they get from all the drama.
Cool. Right. So when stepmoms experience this, they do want to help their partners, and as a result, they make themselves available to the ex-wife. If the ex-wife is displaying high conflict behaviours, is it better for the partner to be the only person to have contact with the ex-wife?
Yeah, I mean, you know, every situation's different, but a lot of stepmoms do come into this wanting to help. Of course, we love our partner.
Yeah.
We're like, you know what? I can do this. I can help out. I can go pick up the kids. I can text the ex and tell her I'm on my way. And, you know, ideally that would be great. But when you find yourself in a situation with someone high conflict and they don't want you there, you know, she does not want she often has a problem even acknowledging your existence. And then if she's abusive to you, if she is harassing, if she insults you, you don't have to put up with that. Like, she's not your ex, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really up to your partner to be the one, like, it's his burden. And you can't really support him in this if you're completely burnt out from you also being abused by her. So
if you're both having contact with her, it's double the stress. But at least if it's just your husband or partner communicating with her, at least then if you're not stressed because you're not in contact with her, you're more available to be able to support him.
Right, exactly.
Rather than both of you having contact with her and twice as much aggro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And I know now, like, you know, 90% of the stepmoms out there, I know they want to look at the emails, they want to read the communications, they want to like into it, and they regret it because they're so deep in it. It's hard to get out of.
So what actions can stepmoms and their partners take if they are experiencing an ex-wife with these behaviours?
Yeah. Well, of course, boundaries is like number one is boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, minimal communication, which is going to drive her crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm concerned with your household. I'm not concerned with her household. So it's like, it's going to drive her crazy, and the boundary will help protect you guys. But it's like, you know, minimal communication. The way you communicate has to sort of change. You know, you're going to want to defend yourself. You're going to automatically want to react emotionally to her emotional reactions. And like with communications, I kind of say it's like you want to sort of like redact all the insults and all the emotional stuff and anything that's not like a fact about the child.
And keep it business-like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so those are some things.
And I guess in some situations as well, using a third party may help.
And that would be great if you can get it. You know, like a third party application like Our Family Wizard is really helpful, but a high conflict person won't typically volunteer to use that. Because it takes away their connection, you know, and their ability
and the control.
You can get it court ordered. That's great.
So you've touched on boundaries. And I know both of us have chatted with stepmoms over the years who actually don't know what a boundary is, or that they're within their right to actually create them when it comes to the ex-wife. So can you explain what is meant by the term boundary?
You know, we don't grow up hearing about boundaries. Our parents probably didn't have boundaries. They don't teach us about boundaries in school or anywhere really. But boundaries are basically limits that you create to protect yourself, to protect your time, your energy, your money, anything that having to do with you. And it's always in your control. So I hear a lot of stepmoms say, well, she violates my boundary. Actually, she can't violate your boundary because a boundary is always what you will do or what you will not do. She might violate or not honor a request of yours. Please don't call us after 9. That's a request. She can either honor that or not. If she doesn't honor it, your boundary then, how you deal with that is you can turn your phone off. You can block her. You can say, after 9 o'clock, I'll no longer be taking phone calls. That's your boundary. It's always in your control.
Should you tell them in advance that you're planning on putting these boundaries in place? Or
you know, it depends. It really depends. Like if It depends on the situation. I mean,
Yeah.
it's always best, I think, if you can say, look, this is how I'd like things to go now. If you can't honor that, then this is what I'll be doing, you know?
Yeah. So if you've got an ex-wife who's constantly texting about stuff that's not related to the children, you can turn around and say, right, after 7 o'clock, my phone's going to be switched off, and then I can switch it back on the following morning. Yeah.
Right. I think it's always nice to let them know ahead of time and like give them the choice to be able to either honor that or not, you know. If they're out of control, they probably can't. But yeah, or like I'm only going to be responding to, you know, statements about the kids. That's the only thing I'm going to be responding to. You know, at some point, like if you decide to block her because she's being horrible, you don't need to tell her that. You just block her. You block her on the phone, you block her on your email, and you're done with it. So it depends on the situation.
Yeah, because many stepmoms and their partners struggle to initially set boundaries because they're worried about repercussion, you know, in case the ex says, right, well, I'm stopping you seeing the children. And so how can they start off with putting perhaps one boundary in place and
you know, I think sometimes it comes down to like understanding their rights, doing what they need to do to not be led by that fear. So if they have a fear of her taking away the kids, legally, what are their rights and what's the next step for them if she does take away their rights? And so you can have that confidence that you're like, you know what, we have free will. Like I have free will. I have the right to say no. She does not legally have the right to withhold my kids from me. And then be willing to follow through with legal consequences if you need to, or whatever it takes. But it is hard, you know, and I think it's harder for the dads. But the stepmoms can model it. They can start with their own boundaries and be like, honey, I can't hear about her anymore. So I need you to, you know, or you can only talk about her for 5 minutes and then I'm done. You know, put the timer on for 5 minutes and then I'm done.
Get it out of your system and then we're done.
Exactly. We're not inviting her to dinner. We're not inviting her into our bed. Like, done.
Yeah. And would you say that stepmoms and partners are within their right to say, we're going to limit contact to just child-related emergencies, to try and limit all the other texts and phone call conversations about stuff that's not?
That would be great. The hard thing is that these parents have sometimes 20 years of this pattern. So asking a dad to break that pattern can be really difficult, and it can take years for him to break that pattern. But absolutely, I mean, if it's a high conflict situation, like just keeping it about the kids, keeping it business about the kids is you know, what you want to get to, where you want to get to.
So once boundaries are in place, what can couples do when they are met with resistance from the ex-wife? Because if she's high conflict, the chances are there is going to be that resistance, that bounce back.
You know, some of it is really learning how to just say she's being crazy, she's being ill, it's her disorder or whatever, and not letting it get into you, you know, not letting it change you. You have to be consistent with boundaries. They're like children. They will learn. They will go crazy at first, but eventually they typically will calm down and understand, like, look, she can try 20 times. I'm not going to respond. So eventually she will learn that she's not going to get what she wants that way. So being really consistent, trying to ignore as much as possible the crazy, you know, insults and whatever she's throwing at you, or the threats or whatever, you know, doing your due diligence with like educating yourself, and being supportive of each other.
So the idea is to probably start off small if you're not used to putting boundaries in place, or you don't want to, I don't know, potentially rock the boat too much straight away. Perhaps put one boundary in place so there's not too much resistance, and then kind of
Yeah, I mean, you see how it goes. You know, I mean, you know, everyone's different. You know, you may just require a small boundary, you know, like it may be okay that, you know, I'm not available all throughout the day, but I'll get back to you. Sorry, Felicia says, I'm dealing with the same situation.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll be responding between 3 and 4 to your emails and texts that I receive throughout the day, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
And being patient, like with yourselves, with your partner, because it's hard to implement these. Like there's a lot of fear. People have a lot of fear around boundaries. You know, I'm going to, especially women, I'm going to look like a bad person. I'm going to look like a bad partner. He's going to be mad at me. I'm going to look unsupportive. You know, there's a lot of fear that keeps us doing what we're doing that's not working for us, though. It makes us resentful and it makes us burned out.
Yeah. So how should stepmoms and their partners better support each other when they've put these boundaries in place?
So I think not getting down on each other when they falter, you know, like if you've agreed on something and then he like slips, he's gonna slip. Like it's never gonna be 100%. Yeah, absolutely. And be like, okay, you know, like I get it, it's hard. We'll try again next time, you know. I think that's the biggest thing, is to not be like, you jerk, you told me you wouldn't do this and now you let her do that, and that doesn't help. Then your relationship is like, you know, down the drain. So just kind of being encouraging and, you know,
keeping communication open as well.
Yeah, checking in with each other, you know, building each other up instead of knocking each other down, because he's already been knocked down enough by this woman. Like he needs to be built up. He needs his confidence as a dad, as a man, as a partner to be built up, to counter all the years he had with her. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, shall we see if somebody's got any questions on what we've discussed so far?
I need help because I'm literally stressed out. Felicia, I don't know if you know about my 2-week intensive dealing with the ex, but it's excellent. So if you go to stepmomhelp.com, you can look at my intensive. In 2 weeks, we can make good headway with you. If you want to post a specific question right here, I think we have a couple more minutes.
Yeah, we have a couple more minutes if anybody's got any questions.
And this will be a multi-parter, everybody, because I think we only have about 20 minutes, and we still have more questions to answer. So that's just the basics. Right? We could probably talk for years about this. Anyone else? Anyone else have specific questions? It was good talking with you, Corinne.
Felicia, right. What is the best advice for dealing with a high conflict ex?
Well, there's not one, but boundaries. Boundaries. You have to protect yourself from her. You have to protect yourself. Number one, you have to protect yourself. Should I avoid contacting my stepkids while with mom? Probably, Elizabeth. Yep, I would.
If it's high conflict, then
if it's causing a problem for her, if it's causing a problem for the stepkids, then yeah. If you're 50-50 custody and you see them enough, then yes, I would not bother them. If you like only see them, you know, once every few months, maybe, you know, that might be a little different. You might want to find other ways, maybe through your partner, to contact them. Felicia, should I disable her behavior? Should I disable her behavior? I would love to know how to disable someone's behavior. You can't change her, Felicia. I'm not sure what you mean by disable, but you can't change her, but you can protect yourself from her.
Right, okay. What we'll do, we'll wrap up now for part one. Thanks for everybody who's joined us so far. Jenna and I will arrange another date for a part 2 session.
Yep.
That's all right with you, Jenna?
That would be great. Yeah, thanks everybody. Yes, Felicia.
Thank you, Jenna.
Okay, all right, bye, Corinne. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.